Friends, the adaptive organization boldly name and discuss the elephant in the room. Diagnosing the organization's system, the adaptive challenge, and the political landscape that shapes the inside and the outside of the organization takes time, careful thought, and bold moral courage. In 1991 in LA and California in the United States, the politics played out on a national stage. On March the 3rd, officers of the LA Police Department brutally beat Rodney King after a high-speed chase on the Foothill Freeway, the Interstate 210 in the San Fernando Valley. That moment was serendipitously captured on video by a bystander on his balcony, George Holliday. Holliday sent the media footage to the local television news station, the KTLA, which broadcast the footage, and other stations rebroadcast it too. Fast forward to April 1992. The 4 officers charged with brutally and shamelessly beating Rodney King were all acquitted. LA broke out in violent riots, and parts of the city went up in flames. Then President George Bush deployed federal troops and the National Guard to restore order. He established a recovery task force. He spoke to the nation about violence, and racial tensions and temperatures ran sky high. Back in the great state of Utah, my good friend Shawn Newell, who has served on multiple state boards in business and education and Black advancement, recalls the Rodney King incidents with great clarity and alacrity. He himself felt a more subtle version of the racial prejudice and tension in his own company, the Industrial Supply Company. And that tension and that prejudice was experienced with his immediate superior and other senior white executives, who, in Shawn's own words, had the white executive privilege of being offensive. Knowing that he had the complete support of the company president, Shawn faced 2 distinct choices. On the one hand, did he continue to hide the elephant and keep his chin to the chest? Or should he name and discuss the elephant in the room with his immediate superior, meet with him, and speak up boldly? Very often, these elephants in organizations happen in meetings between meetings, meetings within meetings, and there are 4 kinds of meetings. The first is the public meeting, the ostensible meeting for which people gather. The second are the pre-meetings of the meetings, those that happen in hallways where not everyone attends. The third meeting are those meetings that happen in the minds of people who are attending the meeting, where they're not really discussing the real issue at hand, and the meeting is really happening in the mind, the observations, the interpretations, the reflections, thinking about what is being said and what is not being said, particularly the elephant in the room. And the final meeting are the meetings after the meetings that happen on the phone calls and emails or afterward drinks that record what actually happened in the meetings, the unspoken words, the hidden agenda, and the tense moments that come and go without being fully described, discussed, or acknowledged. Shawn, with the support of his company president, elected to make the bold moral choice. He named and discussed the elephant in the room. He met with his superior and shared with him openly and honestly how offensive his experience was. The fact that the racial prejudice and tension within the company was not only offensive to him, but adversely affected and impacted the business development strategy, growth, and performance. Credit where credit is due. His superior had his aha moment. He got it. And he immediately asked Shawn, what should we do about this? He stepped up as an ally and a sponsor to work with Shawn on the real adaptive challenge and change that needed to happen with other senior white executives to help them do their work and change heads and hearts. Adaptive organizations that are able to pivot and change in times of disruption have 5 differentiating characteristics. The first, they name the elephant in the room. The second, they share the responsibility for the organization's future. The third, they expect and reward independent judgment. Number 4, they develop the adaptive leadership capacity within the organization. And finally, they institutionalize reflection and continuous learning, like the CEO or the chairperson that asks at the end of the meeting, what else have we missed? What else is perhaps simmering beneath the surface? Shawn Newell named and discussed the elephant in the room. He helped shape the future remarkable success of his company. He rose through the ranks to a top position of VP of Business Development, and the organization developed their adaptive leadership capacity. But not only did Shawn name and discuss the elephant in the room, those elephant whisperers in time adapted, transformed, and even nurtured him. So until next time, remember that leading boldly is about making these thoughtful, clear choices. And bold leadership is about taking bold action, just one small step at a time, one step for you. But together with the elephants in the room and the elephant whisperers, a giant step for humanity. Take care and take thoughtful, bold action.